Hey guys, welcome back. So, do I always start my videos with that? I catch myself sometimes with these little phrases that I use. Um, Picked up this kit at the North Charleston SCMA show, last show I attended. And I decided I haven't looked at it yet. I opened the box, it was all bagged up, but I really haven't looked at it. And I'm not a huge show rod fan. I mean, I like them, I think they're cool. I got certain paddy wagons, beer wagons, popcorn wagons. What else kind of wagons I got up there? But this one's, I don't know, it's just more cool to me for some reason. Um, I guess mainly because it shows it's got a 427 single overhead cam engine. And I want to open it up, check it out. I want to see if the decals are any good or if they're even in there. And this is an MPC Erdl release of this thing, and says it includes exclusive gold anodizing paint. I think that might be, there's a little paint bottle in there. I don't know if that's what they're talking about, like you have to paint, that they may be chrome, you were supposed to paint over everything to make it that way. But this is some sort of C cab, I don't know, maybe Model T or something like that. I don't know, just an old C cab truck, but it's made into a gas truck. And I looked this thing up on Scalemates. This is a 1987 edition. I looked it up on Scalemates. Nothing yet on Scalemates has an MPC version of this, but it was originally, it was an AMT LiL Gasser. And I noticed something on this box art here, outside of, it's got like Amico, and this has, really doesn't have a name brand of the gas, but it looks like the engine on the box art of this one, and it may be because it's got the oval thing. It may just be the rendition that the artist made. It does look like it has an oval, but it just didn't look like the cylinder heads were the same. And it probably is, but it also shows that it's got a magneto sticking up in the front there, which would be forward. I don't see anything like that on this one, but that doesn't mean that it didn't have it. But they did tend to change things over time. And it's got those classic AMT, early AMT mud grip, street tires. So I'm going to open it up. I want to see. Oh, I was going to also mention that if you look at the history on Scalemates, they had a lot of these dual axle. What is this one? Little cash box. It was like an armored car, dual axle. So same setup, just a different section back here. They also had, what is this? A cement truck, little mixer. And then they had the LiL Yeller. So that would be a school bus. That's pretty cool. That doesn't have the same cab. Man, that would be really cool to find. LiL Yeller. Instead of Old Yeller, it's LiL Yeller. Did y'all watch Old Yeller? I remember as a kid in elementary school, they would, man, you see these memes or whatever they call these things on like Facebook. It's like, how did this make you feel? And it showed a TV, like the one they would push into the classrooms with the Betamax, or we had Betamax at elementary school. That was when VHS hadn't won over. But anyway, yeah, they had different variations of this same kit, but then I got the LiL Gasser. So, and LiL Gasser is not listed in there as an MPC kit, but that's what this is. Obviously, it was AMT when Erdl purchased AMT, they also, I think they acquired MPC. Anyway, started mixing up boxes and things like that. But I'm curious to see the back axles and things like that, because it looks like it's got a quite large rear differential, and it would have a being it's tandem, it would have a drive shaft that goes through there. So I'm kind of curious to see that, and this paint thing they're talking about. And there's a little, I bet that was it. So I mean, it's no good at all. It looks like brown paint, but I bet that's what they were talking about because these parts are all chrome. So I guess as a kid you would have paintbrushed that on there and made that stuff. It was probably just a clear, well, it's called anodizing, but just a clear type of gold paint, which is absolutely no good. But it's cool that's in there. Get these things out of here and check them out. And the decals, see if they're a train wreck. There's not many decals, doesn't look like, but oh no, they're no good at all. Some of you guys might could save that. So those are for your C cab. I guess I was wrong. It does have more decals than I thought. So it's got the pinstriping, which would have been really cool, but I don't know if that's any good or not. It's got some, which that could be cleaned up possibly. LiL Gasser in positively inflammable. What does it say on there? Inflammable. I don't understand that. Under the license of, no, it says Amico right there. I guess that was an old Amico logo. As you travel, ask us. Caution, no smoking within 20 feet. High on octane. That's pretty funny, but positively inflammable. Don't get it. There's the kit number. It's 6222 on the box, but it's got an 8730, so maybe if I'd looked that up, it would have explained a little bit more. Let me open up some of these bags here. Let's see what we got. Here's your glass. It's a little scratched up, but it's okay. That's flat. You could easily replace that glass too, but the headlight lenses are there. And these little, maybe they're tail light lenses, I guess, and the metal axles are in there. So it looks like it's complete. I want to see the rear differentials. Oh, there they are. Yep, and it does have the three. We'll go and open that one up. If I cut myself with that X-Acto, I'd need to get a tetanus shot. That thing is like super darn rusty. I like to keep an old dull X-Acto because I don't always want a sharp one when I'm doing certain things. So the sharp ones seem to dig in really hard when you're least expecting it, when you're just maybe doing some scraping or something like that. So I kind of prefer an old dull one until you cut yourself with it, and that's no good. Oh, I got right off the old Yeller. They bring the TVs into our classroom, and man, that was a good day because wasn't a whole lot going on for at least 2 hours, and I can remember watching that movie Old Yeller, and I remember watching Swiss Family Robinson. And there was another Secret. There was a cartoon movie that I watched in school. It was The Secret of Nymph, or something like that. It was a bunch of rats that lived under this bush. Oh man, it was a good movie. I've watched it even as an adult, and it brought back so many memories. But it was about a colony of rats. They could all talk and everything, and they were kind of mystical. They had a leader. What was his name? Oh heck, what was his name? It's a biblical name. I almost said Nebuchadnezzar, but that ain't it. It was it'll come to me hopefully. What was his name? Who's the guy? What was that? Nicodemus. That was it, Nicodemus. So Nicodemus was a kind of a weird character. But anyway, weird movies. I just remember that as a kid. Little Gasser led me to Old Yeller, and Old Yeller led me to TVs and coming into classrooms and all this stuff. All right, so here are the differentials. So they are heavy duty. You would not want this on like a drag car, but just a street show rod, so they can have all the weight they wanted. They probably didn't even crank and run. So you got your two front. I don't know what brand that would be. Then you have your rear of the rear housing and rear of the front housing, and it does have the exit of the drive shaft. So it would be a true tandem, all four wheel pulling setup there. Here's your hood scoop, your two-piece hood scoop for your 427, the intake, two blower halves. The wheels look really cool, and actually the chrome is kind of shiny on the in the wheels, on the sides of the wheels, but down in the inside it's kind of flat. Kind of looks really cool. And you got 6 of them, 2, 4, 6. There's your front suspension, and I don't, let's see, some other chrome. Everything was chrome on a show rod, just chrome parts everywhere. Could you imagine having to clean or polish that thing? There's your windshield frame. What is this? These are the little side panels right here. That's what those are. We have the LiL Gasser logo on it, and looks like some headlights. Yep, those are your headlights right there, or headlight frames or buckets. And here is the crazy big gigantic ladder bars that ran the, let's see if that ran almost the entire, they got big front ones, and you got ones from 3/4 or 1/4 of the way back all the way to the rear. So here are your front ones for your front axle. Got to keep that thing steady, you know what I mean? When you're pushing it in and out of a show, you wouldn't want that thing to get out of shape and get loose. But then there are the rears, and there are 2 more big ones there. Anyway, wheel backs here, chrome wheel backs. These look like they are the what are these things called? These things right here, these supports for the cab, I guess, you know, because all that torque might just pull that loose, but no telling what. It looks like they're hooked to the headlights. Probably not, but it looks like in the picture they're hooked to the headlights. Maybe it's to hold the headlights in place. I don't know. I doubt seriously they're hooked to the headlights. There's probably something else under there. What a massive shifter too in that thing. Check that out. And the upside down Model T steering wheel. I have seen some big rig truckers, you know, that like to do it all the way with their trucks, and they'll have their seat really, really low, because they, you know, it's cool to have your seat real low and not have any suspension in it. So then when you hit a bad pothole, it literally, you know, crushes a few of your disc or whatever. I guess it just seems like, I used to drive a I used to be a logger, you know. That reminds me of something else. It reminds me of Ray Stevens in that song. But anyway, I used to be a logger. I used to I used to load, you know, log trucks with a loader. I mean, I could run it all, but I drove the service truck that we would drive every day with a fuel tank on there. So I guess I drove a little gasser, but we had like a 400-gallon fuel tank on that thing. But anyway, I would lower the seat down in that thing too, because sometimes when you got an old air ride seat, it would just go up. It would just beat you to death, literally. So sometimes it actually did ride better with the seat completely bottomed out. But you would have to have it bottomed out to get to that steering wheel, because number one, it's turned upside down, because I know it's not, but it looks like an upside down steering wheel. But then you know, these big rig truckers that have it all decked out, they'll sometimes have a gear shift that's like 4 foot above them, you know, and they're shifting them 18 speeds and stuff like that. But yeah, that kind of reminds me of that. But you know, it's a show rod, so it's supposed to be wild, and I think they accomplished that, at least with the shifter. All right, here is okay, so the headlights are made onto there, and maybe I'm wrong about the headlight buckets, but there's your grill that's got a big giant wrinkle in it. I would re-chrome everything anyway, and probably spray if I want to do some, you know, maybe copper or something like that, brass. So I think this is something that I'm probably going to build not in the near future, because I've got a bunch of model kits, but sometimes just 1 or 2 will really grab your eye, and you're like, wow, that's cool. And I'm not a huge show rod guy, but this one just seems to be pretty darn cool. So anyway, got looks like your oil, your transmission pan, front and rear parts of the blower. Got your Hilborn injection there for the top of the blower. Got the hood ornament. There's that shifter right there. Dang, that thing is big. That thing is just giant. But anyway, got your side exhaust, which I don't like. I think they're ugly with the square tips like that. But anyway, that's what's here. And like I say, if you had some of that cool gold anodizing paint, you could make them look like gold, man. All right, so here are let's see, what would this be? The back of the cab? No, it wouldn't be the back of the cab. Could be the back of the cab. I'm looking at the shape. See that ridge right here? It's probably is the back of the cab. I don't. It looks like it would have windows, but those are probably more like mirrors or something. But they don't. I don't know. But it looks like it's the back of the cab, possibly right there. Another portion of that. I assume these are. This is the floorboard, maybe. Could be, possibly. There's your tanks. So your halves. You would have thought that they would have sent those in chrome for the little kid that was building this thing, because, you know, to have to hand paint some silver paint on there, that would have to look just absolutely hideous. But I would have figured they would have made those in chrome. You can see that these caps up here are chrome. This is just gray. So, and that's okay, because if it was, I'd had to dechrome it anyway. So it probably would look cool as can be, though, if you chromed out the whole tank and all with some of that. I've been using AK, so I've got all kinds of different chrome paints. But with my 64 street machine that I'm building, I sprayed the AK chrome over the high gloss AK black base, and I tell you what, it's some really good stuff. It turned out really nice. So I go back and forth with chrome paint. Sometimes I'll get the Green Stuff World, Alclad. I've got Spastics. Heck, I've got quite a few. But the AK, it just laid down really nice this last time. All right, here are the side. Yeah, those decals would have been really nice to have. So you would have some sort of outline. I don't know. Maybe STS could remake me some. I'll have to get with them and see if they can, if I do choose to put the pinstripes on there. But anyway, there's cab sides. What is this round thing right here? I don't have a clue what that is. Some of you guys are probably like, it's the end of the tank. So your two tank halves and the roof. And where does this little guy go? That's part of the body somewhere. I'm looking on the box trying to identify it. Don't see it. Couldn't tell you. And here is the chassis. Man, you can't get any more simple than that. Check it out. Just simple as can be. Got a little rake to the back of it. Got that thing jacked up in the air. So gotta have that rake look, right? So the engine and the chassis, or where the engine sets, the front part of the chassis looks relatively straight, which it is. And then the back portion back here, man, you got it raked up. Like that thing is like going 100 miles an hour sitting still. I guess that's the look they were going for. I think they achieved that too, but yeah, super simple. All of this looks very simple. Some of the multi-piece body parts and all. Okay, could be a handful to try and get seams out. But there's your back window with the assuming rear windows that you couldn't see out anyway because there's a big tank there. But I'm assuming that would be probably if you saw it as a show rod. And I don't know if this was really a show rod. I know a lot of show rods were real, but some of them are just concepts that model companies made. I don't have a clue. Even the person behind this one, maybe you guys in the comments could tell me if there was really something like this. Was it Carl Casper? Was it Ed Roth? Was it, start naming them off. There's your floorboard right there. I don't know what that one deal is. Here's your seat, your fire, or your around it where the firewall is. There's your dashboard. It's got some gauges and all on it. It's pretty cool. This camera's working just great. So excited to have something that I can actually not get negative comments on, and that's fine. Actually, they became kind of laughable because I knew it was a train wreck. Here is probably yep. So this would be, it's got the locating pins right there, which would go right here. So that's your bed of your truck body, basically, where your tank would sit. Let's see if I can get that thing stuck in there. I can't. There we go. So yeah, there's your truck body. Your tank would then mount on top of that. And then you get to your engine, which looks really nice. There's your upside down steering wheel that's already mounted to the steering column. Oil pan, cylinder heads with exhaust already made to them or something. What is that? Oh, sorry. Gosh, I'm looking at it. I'm getting a great view of it. You guys can't see anything. Yeah, it looks like, anyway, there's the front timing cover, timing chain cover. Thing had an enormous timing chain in it. The single overhead cam did. Blower belt, and there's your valve covers. And then your transmission, which has an automatic transmission. Very uncommon, in my personal opinion, in models to see a automatic transmission. There's so many times they have, standard shift stuff, and you would think with this thing having the big old shifter, it would have been standard shift, but that is not a standard shift. 427 they would take a C6, but it was the smaller bell housing B6. C6. Did I say V6? I don't even know what I said. Anyway, the as far as I know, 390, 352, 360, 406, 427, and those FE style engines, I think that if it was an automatic, it probably did come with a C6, but it was not your 460, 429 C6. Those had a much larger bolt pattern in the back. But I think this, I don't know if this is to represent a C6 or not. I do remember seeing a small bell housing C6 around my dad's place. But the bigger ones would have ridges up here on top, like the 460 that I offer over on MCV Products that Miguel over at Hobbyworks designed. He did, obviously it's for 460, and it has those support ridges on the top, which this doesn't. And I remember seeing the C6 that was for the small boat pattern, and it did not have those ridges. So maybe it is a C6. Looks like it has a window crank on the side of it, but that's not a window crank at all. And then I wonder, is a FE, some of you, I about said Ford guys, I almost insulted some of you people. Some of you Ford guys, some of you guys aren't Ford guys. I know that for a fact. There are a few, but is that the same bolt pattern as a small block Ford? I don't know. I do have this engine right here that Howard Heno gifted me, and let me look at the no, I don't think so. The bolt pattern does not look, it looks more round than like a Ford, a small block Ford, 351, 302. That does not look like the same bolt pattern. So I guess maybe they were specific to the FE for the transmission style. Anyway, let me look at this real quick. I gotta open up the instructions because I want to know about the heads. It looks like exhaust coming off of them or something. That doesn't make any sense. So I wonder if these have ever been opened up since 1987. I was just a wee lad. Let's see, I was 11 years old when this came out. Yeah, that's what that is. It doesn't say, but that looks, it must be where the I don't know. Yeah, that's where the exhaust would just plug into the side of them. Not very realistic looking at all, because on an actual 427, that's, like I say, it's a model. It's not like it's real. But anyway, isn't this thing cool as heck? And super detailed. Golly, that is crazy. I gotta pull this breather off so you can see the carburetors. I know I'm wavering or leaving the LiL Gasser, but this is cool. So you can take the breather off of this thing. It's got the Holly. Heck, I don't know. What's the model of this carburetor? I would love to be able to print this carburetor. I don't think I have this one, but that is a really nice carburetor to have. Looks like they're probably 600 CFM or something like that. But anyway, cool stuff. All right, so the LiL Gasser. Let me look through this one more time, see if, or one more time. Let me look through it, period. Oh, I haven't looked at the tires yet. Let's see what else I might see in here. Oh, that paper's kind of, I wanted to see where that floor pan looking deal went. That I thought was the floor pan, and ain't on that page. The part I'm talking about is right here. This thing. What is that? It's like a catwalk or something. There's only one of them. Where did that go? I gotta do this off camera because it's too big to open up and for you all to see. Oh, I see what it is. Okay, so it's the top of the tank up there where the two fuel caps would go. That's what that is. Okay, that explains that. And so it is kind of a catwalk because you had to get up there to uncap the fuel caps. All right, so now to the tires. Here's your, what is this? Huh? Something extra in there? I don't know what that thing is. I have to look. All right, so it's got some really moldy looking Goodyear drag slicks. 15-inch looks like, something like that. Very close, looks like to the tires that would have been on the 67 Chevelle. I know the ones I have, they came with slicks and they came with Pro Street treaded tires. And there are the classic, what the heck does that say? Rally GT. Goodyear Rally GT, boy. Could you imagine rolling with that right there? And then, as I've mentioned in the past, I can remember as a kid, yeah, here you go, yeah, which this has got like tons of flash in there, you can't even see it. You're cutting through, right? You got a brand new hobby knife. Remember those black Testors hobby knives that you would get? They would be, just black plastic, non-changeable blade and all that stuff. I remember those. I'm going to totally lose my train of thought, but I got to say it. The only memory, this is so weird to me, and I've mentioned this in the past, that I don't have any memory of ever going and buying a model kit. Not one. And I hear these stories from people saying, I can remember as a kid going and looking at the models on the shelf. I don't remember that. It's like something disconnected where I don't remember that. But anyway, I remember I have vague memories of sitting down and building models, but I have proof. I have pictures of the model kits that I built, and I remember sitting and doing it. But man, I don't know. Maybe I was just a little bit too ADHD in my childhood, or maybe my adult ADHD has really kicked in to where it just kind of voided out those memories. But anyway, only memory I have of going to the store and buying something model related was me and my mom were in St. Mary's, Georgia, right above the Florida line. I mean, St. Mary's is right there above of the Florida line. It's on the Florida line. But anyway, we went to a Walmart and I told her I wanted a model knife. I might have mentioned this on a video before. She was like, okay. And I'm over there looking and I found one. I called it a model knife, the black Testors one, right? And I brought it and I said that I found it. She says, oh, I thought you were talking about a model knife, like a model of a knife. I said, no, Mom. So that's what I called them. I called them model knives. But I'd take that brand new blade and that model knife, and I would go, you're doing so good, cutting through, and all of a sudden, right up into the sidewall. And, yeah, done it many, many a time. That's a Southern phrase for a lot, many a time. So, anyway, that's pretty cool. LiL Gasser. I keep saying little. I'm so grammatically correct. Did want to mention one thing really quick. I've got several new sets of wheels on the website. At this time of this video, I've only got these I'm about to show you listed, but the others should be listed hopefully by the time you see this, if not within a day or so. But speaking of the Chevelle rear tires that comes with the Chevy Chevelle, I have now got the Mickey. Let's see if we can see if you can see the writing on it. There we go. Mickey Thompson, what does it say? Sportsman Pro. So I've got I think they're, Convo, something Convo. What kind of wheels are these? Anyway, you guys probably know. They're multi-piece wheels. and it's got the Mickey Thompson treaded tires, and they are super cool. I tried to get them as close as possible to the size of the wheels on the Chevelle, and the front ones here, and they are also the Mickey Thompson Sportsman Pro, and they are treaded as well. So I think the ones that come with the Chevelle kit are kind of just like not the greatest tread on the front tires. So I've got these now. I also have these in the weld light, weld rod light and weld drag light. I also have the conversion for that, so they have the deeper wheels. I also sell the rod light and drag light in the ET Street type tires, but now I have them in both of this size tire. I also have, as an option, haven't printed them yet, instead of the Mickey Thompson, they're the Hoosier style tires, and they're more of a directional style tire. These are created by Ryan Jones over at Z-Force Model Works. He does, in my opinion, the best wheels you will find, and he just started offering these. I got a hold to him and was able to start printing them. So anyway, these are cool, and this is the way they look on the tree. This is how you'll get them. They won't be taken off, but anyway, that's it right there. Multi-piece rear wheels, so you can paint, different, paint the wheels, 2 shades or whatever. Anyway, cool. And another engine that I have just recently printed. I have not got them on there yet. I have not made a model one. I need to put one together so I can take some pictures. But this is a big block Chevy with Moroso valve covers, and it also has the T-bolts for the valve covers are already on there. It's got the big block Chevy intake, got headers, have a power glide transmission, and all that stuff. Comes with a carburetor. Doesn't have a breather. One thing that I did notice about this is, oh golly, kicked the camera completely out from under the shot. This is considered an old school big block Chevy, and I don't know why, but the way that the designer made this, with the carburetor is on there sideways. You can see that that's not exactly square, so you can't put the carburetor straight. I guess you could if you wanted to, but the carburetor mounts on there sideways, which I don't understand. But anyway, it doesn't mean that it didn't exist. I know that there have been intakes with the carburetors on there sideways, but anyway, this is that way. I think I'm going to try to reach out to the designer and ask him if he can make an intake with the carburetor straight, but I haven't done that yet. So that's something I'm going to try and do. But anyway, look for this one on the website very soon. I may go ahead and list it with just this picture. Don't know yet. And I have some other cool wheels that are out there curing right now, and they'll be listed too. Some really cool stuff from Z-Force Model Works, and I have a ton more that I've got to print and get listed. So anyway, good stuff. Anyway, as always, where's my sticker? Have I lost my Hobby Nut sticker? Anyway, I guess it's over there somewhere. Don't forget, as always, check out hobbynutmodels.com. I appreciate Mark's continuing support over the years, and I want to continue to push as much business towards him as possible. If you need some great paint, MCW, Tamiya, all those metal colors, if you like to weather stuff, and model kits too, go over there and check it out, hobbynutmodels.com. Always linked in the description of the videos, as well as my website where you can get you some of these wheels and these engines, mcvproducts.net. I did notice that this was in there a while ago, and I forgot to say something about it. It almost looks like a slot car tire. I don't know. Maybe it was a part of something. Anyway. Alright guys, well hey, thanks for watching. Do appreciate you. Kind of went long on this actually. I didn't think it would go this long, but enjoy spending the time with you, and hope you did also. I was going to mention something as I was doing this and forgot. I was thinking, because this has such a nice open concept as far as where the engine is mounted and everything, not a lot of interference with stuff, I was thinking, it would be cool to change the engine in it and put something else in it. I don't think you could squeeze a Pro Charged Hemi in there, because it would just really blow out the radiator, but just something different. And I don't know, maybe a big block, a 460, a blown 460, because I've got those, and you can get one too at mcvproducts.net. But anyway, a blown 460, something with a little more detail. But the only problem is exhaust. Like this wouldn't work. I don't know. I do think that I have some access to some like some different kind of headers that stick out farther or not. But anyway, if not, I'd have to go with these and maybe do this the kit engine. But I'd like to put a resin engine in it. But anyway, I'm just yapping and talking. All right, guys, take care. Appreciate you. Go check out hobbynutmodels.com, my website, mcvproducts.net. And hey, we'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.